Hello everybody, what is up? It is Jiwon. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so the first part of this video is just like how I lost weight, like practical steps that I took and everything. And honestly, the thing that I think is most important was getting my mental health to a better state and finding a better way to regulate my emotions and deal with them and like express them. Because I used to emotionally eat, which was first of all a very expensive and very unhealthy habit. So yeah, don't do that. Also, this is not medical advice, but I would recommend first like dealing with your mental health issues and everything first before even trying to lose weight. Because when my mental space was like not in the best of headspaces and I was fixated on like losing weight and everything, first it was really unhealthy. Just like I feel like my mentality around body image and everything, and I feel like it made it harder to lose weight, ironically, because I like stressed myself out. Like once I focused more on how I felt like mentally and emotionally, the weight just kind of fell off by itself. And like other more practical steps that I think just kind of naturally changed once I got my mental headspace into a better place was I started having more home cooked meals. I was like cooking more and everything and incorporating more like vegetables specifically into my diet. Also, this isn't necessarily a tip, but I had a lot more like soups. I really like doenjang, which is like a soybean paste Korean soup. And then I also really like bone broth based soups and like vegetable based ones. Another thing I did was walk more and get like, for me, I would get like, when I was like in the process of like losing weight and stuff, I got like roughly about 10k steps a day, which I feel like for some people is really not that much. But like if you aren't like super active, I feel like it can be kind of difficult to get that many steps, especially like if you're in class all day or something. Like just walking more and stuff, like I feel like the weight was kind of like coming off the right places when I was like walking more. And also it did wonders for my mental health as well. It just genuinely puts me in such a good mood. As personally, I don't count calories just because I feel like the whole, like if I count calories, I feel like I'll become like really obsessed and it just stresses me out. And so what works better for me is just eating like when I'm a little bit hungry and eating for satiety. So until I'm just not hungry, not until I'm like stuffed to the point of like being too full, just because that physically makes me feel ill. Like I didn't like skip meals. I didn't like try to only eat like once a day or anything like that, just because that does not work for me personally. I would just eat when I felt hungry and stop eating when I was satiated. Another thing that I think helped me was instead of focusing on like, okay, like instead of being like super strict with what I would eat, I would just like eat whatever I wanted. Because what I noticed is like when I'm like, okay, Jiwon, like you can't eat like XYZ things purely for the sake of losing weight, I'm not very good at sticking to that. What I will say though, side note tangent, is that I do have to be like pretty strict with what I eat, not for the sake of like how my body looks, but for the sake of like period cramps. Because y'all, I know this is gonna sound so dramatic, but like my cramps would be so bad to the point where like I literally could not move for like a day and a half, and I would get like really sick for like a day. And I know it's because of my period, because of just like you know your own body, and I know it's because of that. So because of that, I have to be like pretty strict with what I eat, like not to the point where I have to cut everything out. The only time where I had zero period symptoms at all was when I did Whole30 with my family. And on it, it's like I had a rice like once a week at that point. It was only for like a month, but like no caffeine, no sugar, no like flour or grains. And that was the only time where I had no cramps, no period symptoms, nothing. So if I am really strict with my diet, it's purely because of that, like not because of like how my body looks. But that's just like a side tangent. But yeah, just like eating whatever I wanted made it easier in the process of losing weight for me personally. Also, another thing that helped me in the process, which kind of goes into the next like part of this video, which is like how I got over bad body image. Not weighing yourself every day is, for me, like I didn't weigh myself every day. Like I don't really weigh myself. And then also don't fixate on it. Just trust your body to make the changes it's making and go live your life. And if you find yourself so fixated on like the weight loss and everything, which trust me, I get it, because it's like if you're physically uncomfortable, like it's kind of hard to not pay attention to it. But what helped me a lot in the process, it's like, okay, actually pursue the goals that you care about and that you want to achieve. Which into my next point of how I got over bad body image. This might sound kind of cliche and kind of weird or whatever, but just trusting that my body was making the changes that I wanted it to make. And that like, okay, even though maybe I don't necessarily look the way I want to right now, I will get there. And like the changes are being made even though I can't currently see them. And then also another thing that helped was finding clothes that were flattering for me, like regardless of whatever trends are going on, like not really paying attention to those and just finding like jeans specifically that are flattering to me and are a good fit for like me and like my body, I think helped a lot. Because there are some like trends in some clothes that just like I just do not look good and are just unflattering for me, and trying to like follow all those trends, I feel like just made me feel not that great about how I looked. And I think also getting to the root as to why I might have been like so fixated on certain aspects of my appearance helped a lot as well. Like getting to the root issue of that. So for me in the past, I felt like, oh, like no guy would like me, or like I was just like there was this feeling of just like inherently being like not good enough, or like unlovable, etc. And I thought that like, oh, if like I looked a certain way that would like fill that void. No. I'm not gonna like, you're gonna feel better when you like look more in the way you want to, but like it's not gonna fill that void. Like you have to, I think just doing that inner work and getting to like the root cause of those issues and everything, at least in my experience, it helped me kind of get rid of like having a bad body image. If you're so fixated on like your appearance and like your body image is really, really terrible, in my experience, like for me, the hyperfixation and like bad body image was symptomatic of like the root issue of feeling inherently not good enough. So I feel like sometimes it's not always about the bad body image and it's sometimes about like a deeper issue. That's how it was for me personally. That's just why I'm like talking about it. But yeah, that's how I overcame that one. And then also something that helps is just like making sure you're taking care of yourself and no longer criticizing like how my body looked and like no longer being so mean to myself and so hypercritical, and just trusting that, okay, in time, your body will change to look the way you want it to, but just stop being so mean to yourself because that's really not helping you. But yeah, I hope this rambly video was somewhat helpful and I hope y'all enjoyed. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you with another one next week. Bye!